All right, let's get to this now. What does it mean to be Latinx? Spanish is a gendered language, but this word provides a gender neutral or a non-binary alternative to Latino or Latina. And as we continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, 13 Action News reporter Abel Garcia shares how Latinx came about and the importance it has for our Hispanic community.
You may have heard the word before or looked at it on a document and thought it was a grammatical error, but the X at the end of Latin has a deeper meaning.
So Latinx is a term that's attempting to decenter the gender binary.
Among the Hispanic community, Latinx has been emerging as a gender-neutral term. Spanish is a gendered language, specific to only men and women. But if there's a group of people, the language defaults to the masculine. The word Latino does exactly that. UNLV assistant professor Dr. Erica Abad says Latinos fail to represent other genders, which is where this non-binary term comes into play.
The power of naming, of disrupting the gender binary term in the naming process, allows us to recognize that our trans community, our non-binary community, our gender non-conforming community is as equally important as our cis community in this conversation of rights and visibility.
Dr. Abad says the term originated around the late 90s, early 2000s from an Afro-Brazilian trans activist. This term, allowing the LGBTQ, specifically the trans community, to be appropriately addressed in important decisions.
Is making sure that trans visibility is integrated into conversations of racial and political economic struggles that we face both stateside and that our kin in our home countries are still continuing to face.
While the term Latinx is more inclusive, Abad says more work needs to be done.
In our day-to-day interactions, Latinx is still limiting because the term Latin centers Europe and erases everybody else.
Dr. Abad says the term is a small step in the right direction, but there are still many barriers in trying to unite people from different backgrounds under a single umbrella.
It is important to learn why we are here, what we contribute, and how U.S. history explains the policies and practices that compelled historical U.S. policy to bring us here and cross our borders in the first place.
Abel Garcia, 13 Action News.